To support the Champaign County Farm Bureau Foundation and our programming.
Can you tell us what inspired this event? It's pretty unique. I've never heard of it before. Is this the first year that it has occurred as well?
This is the first year it's taken place here in Champaign County. This was one of those COVID working from home days where we're looking for creative fundraising ideas, and this came up.
Around $60,000 was raised through the effort. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. We're 26 minutes ahead of the hour here on this Monday morning under cloudy skies in Clinton. It's 49 degrees, feels like 47 outside this morning.
Local information that makes a difference. Here's your regional weather.
Partly sunny today. Temperatures in the upper 50s. A southwest wind at 15 to 25 miles per hour today. Cloudy tonight and a low near 40 degrees. A 50% chance of rain on Tuesday. Cloudy otherwise and a high near 60 degrees. East winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tuesday night, showers likely, lows in the mid-40s. A new rain between a half and 3/4 of an inch on Tuesday night, with winds shifting from the southeast from the west southwest. With temperatures, or rather winds, I should say, at 15 to 25 miles per hour. A 40% chance of rain on Wednesday with a gradual clearing. Temperatures around 60 degrees. A 50% chance of showers in the afternoon on Thursday. Partly sunny and breezy. Temperatures around 50 degrees. A chance of showers early on Friday. Temperatures in the lower to mid-40s. Across central Illinois, as we roll through this Monday morning, cloudy skies right now in Bloomington. Temperatures at this time at 48 degrees, 48 in Hayworth, 49 in Leroy and Farmer City, 49 in Champaign, 48 in Monticello, 51 in Decatur, 50 in Mount Pulaski, 51 in Lincoln, 53 in Springfield, and 50 in Peoria. 49 degrees, cloudy in Clinton, feels like 47 outside. Southwest winds are calm, 81% humidity, 10 miles of visibility on this Monday morning. Ed Shimon with the National Weather Service in Lincoln joins us later on the WHOW Morning Show. Stay with us for that and get the latest in the upcoming weather forecast as well. Get weather anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
CEO Paul Skowron here from Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton. Preventative health care protects you from infections, whether COVID, the flu, or other respiratory ailments. Schedule your appointment now by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
When it comes to fire and water restoration, ServPro of Piatt, DeWitt counties can make your emergency or disaster like it never even happened. Find out all the services they provide by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
The Miller Media Group in Taylorville and Clinton are looking for a person who considers getting results mandatory while maintaining the highest levels of ethical standards. Selling must be in your blood and self-starting is your calling card. You must be able to work alone or under close supervision. If you meet our stringent standards and we believe you can be a part of a progressive team of committed professionals, we want to talk to you. A $2,000 signing bonus is offered. Send your resume via email to sales@randyradio.com. That's sales@randyradio.com. The Miller Media Group is an equal opportunity employer.
It's your John Deere, and it's here at Sloan Implement now during deer season. Right now, get your X700 series with 1.49% for 48 months. And every John Deere X700 Select series comes with a 4-year, 700-hour bumper-to-bumper warranty. 1.49% for 48 months. Some restrictions apply. See Sloan Implement for details. Offer ends 5/2/22. How will you make the most of your mow? Find out at Sloan Implement today.
DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air and online 24 hours a day. The latest local news stories are heard every hour on Central Illinois' news station, the Big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW. Stream live at DeWittDailyNews.com. They're also heard every hour on the station that's your easy choice, 95.9 FM WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online, 24 hours a day.
You're listening to The Morning Show on the Big 1520 across Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence, and my guest on the WHOW Morning Show in this segment is Dr. Lindsey Hall. She is the superintendent of Mahomet Seymour Schools. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Dr. Hall, welcome. How are you this morning?
I am great. Thank you very much. I have to say, I want to raise an objection to the weather forecast, but I suppose that
Oh, my
it
gosh.
is what it is, right? It's early April.
You, me, and probably every other listener out there this morning. Like it's April 4th. We got March off to such a great start. I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be the most amazing spring we've had in a long time. And then Mother Nature was like, nope, no, thank you. We'll try again next month.
Yeah. Been tough for baseball and softball and track.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Everybody has. It's wild. It's wild. I did a game last week. The first, it was actually Lincoln. They only had 2 games in their first 2 weeks of the season. So, I mean, it's just, you're right. These sports programs are really pressed to get some of these games in. Hopefully that turns. But in the meantime, Dr. Hall, I know you and I in our many visits past have discussed this at length, and it is the referendum for a improvement and new facilities referendum in the Mahomet Seymour School District. Just give us kind of the 10,000-foot elevator speech of what this is all about, and we'll dive in from there. How about that? Sure, it sounds great. Thank you so much. Well, our Board of Education voted on Monday, March 21st. They took action on the formal election resolution to place a ballot question on the ballot on June 28th. That's Election Day in Illinois, to put a $97 million bond issue out to our voters to address the facilities needs in our district. And this includes building a new junior high school and improvements at all the other buildings, and also replacing our current transportation building as well. So the 30,000-foot view is that we are out of space, and all of our buildings need additional space. We need added capacity. And there's also some improvements that would be made at all of the buildings as well. And so we're excited to put that out to our voters. This is how, large projects like this and how future facilities planning gets done is we do put the question generally out to voters. And, we will hope that it gets approved so we can move ahead and address the needs that we have in the district. For sure. So now with this, of course, just give us the recent developments that the board has approved this to go out to referendum, and maybe just a quick overview of what's led to where we are here today. How about that? Sure. Yep. Absolutely. Great question. Well, there was a lengthy process that took place prior to this action that our Board of Education took on March 21st. And that process was called Bulldog Blueprint, and it was a community engagement process. We kicked that off actually in November of 2020, which seems like a lifetime ago and on a lot of different levels. And started working on that in early 2021, and throughout 2021 we held 5 different community engagement sessions. And brought our community in, invited folks in, and we started at a very broad level with the first meeting, which was just about exactly a year ago. It was in April of 2021, and that first meeting was focused on just talking to our community members about the current status of all of our buildings. We also talked about how facilities are financed. School facilities are financed in the state of Illinois. We talked about our enrollment forecasts looking out and what some of the challenges are currently with our buildings. And from there, we moved ahead with 4 subsequent meetings, the last one being in November of 2021, and gradually narrowed down the options to the
the question that is going to be put on the ballot in June. So there was quite a process that preceded this. We wanted to hear from our community. We know we didn't hear from everybody. That's impossible to do. But we also in early January did a survey of the taxpayers in the school district, and we got back almost 900 responses, which is a pretty healthy response rate when you just mail out a link to a survey. And that survey indicated that there's support for this plan, which is a great thing. But moving ahead, that support needs to be expressed in the voting booth on June 28th, or whatever mechanism people choose to vote, and so that we can move ahead with this. But it's been a great process. Is it a perfect process? No. I don't know what that would look like, but I feel very good about inviting in our community and hearing from constituents, and if nothing else, having them learn about what our challenges are. And we will continue to talk about that moving ahead as we get closer to the time when folks can vote.
Sure. Dr. Lindsey Hall, Superintendent of Mahomet Seymour Schools, is our guest on the phone here for this morning. And so, Dr. Hall, with all of that said, what is kind of next between now and June? Where do we go from here whether it's your school board, whether it's yourself, whether it's, the community? Where do we go from here?
Sure. Great question. Our role as a school district, as Board of Education and Superintendent, is purely informational. We want to get information into the hands of our voters so that they can make an educated and informed decision about the ballot question. So we're not campaigning, we're not promoting. We have put a question out there that we feel addresses facilities needs in our school district. We want to answer people's questions, explain the financing, explain what would be built. So again, for us, and when I say us, I mean Board of Education and myself, our role is we just want people, we want people to vote. We want people to vote no matter what. It is an election. There are other very important issues on the ballot on June 28th in addition to ours. But then when folks do go to vote on that day, or if they're going to vote early, whatever option they choose, it's so important that they have all of the information that they need to make the decision that they feel is right. And so there'll be a lot of stuff posted on our website. We're building that right now. And there will be other ways that we get factual information out about the referendum. And we'll be talking to different groups, and if anybody wants to have a speaker come to speak about the referendum, I can do that. But again, very, very important to just educate our taxpayers on what it is that we're asking for and why. And hopefully that moves things ahead in a positive way on June 28th.
Sure. Now, I know there are some, Dr. Hall, some limitations on, how much you can speak about this and how you can speak about it. I guess I should say that a little better. But, there are opportunities for the community, and I don't know if it's like the Board of Education that would take this up and lead this effort, but you can, educate and promote this referendum, at a greater level than just yourself in the school. How does all of that work?
Absolutely. Well, if there's going to be a vote yes or a vote no group, that has to be put together, completely separate from the school district. So any type of school district resources cannot be used in those campaigning efforts, either on either side, vote yes or vote no. There are laws regarding that, and there's laws regarding how we use school resources in that regard. Basically, you cannot use school resources to work either side of an election issue. You can use school resources to put out purely informational pieces and things like that. So we will take some time to let our employees know what they can and can't do. Certainly in their free time, when they are not working. That's people can still choose what they want to do and causes they want to support or not support. But very important that school district resources are not used to campaign in any way.
For sure. So what is the board going to, or is someone going to take up an education effort to put this out in front of the community to make them aware of, the facts and the basics on the vote and where, why you're doing this and the need, and, basically put all that information out there at maybe a greater level than was taken up through Bulldog Blueprint? How about those things?
Yeah. So, that's a lot of that falls onto me, which I'm happy to do. Again, my goal and the school district's goal is to make sure that people have all of the information they need to make an informed choice. So we will be using a variety of different platforms just to push out information. We want to reach as many people as we possibly can. The school district will probably do some mailings in the next couple of months. So it's still a bit early. I mean, election day is 3 months out. We know certainly there are campaign ads running on television for some other races, but there is such thing as fatigue on these kinds of things, and we want to just use our time wisely and plan out what we're going to do over the next couple of months.
What I miss in all that, Dr. Hall, that you want to put out there for us?
Pardon me?
What did I miss in all of that you want to put out there for us?
Well, here's what I would say. If there are school district residents who are registered voters and they have any questions, any concerns, and you're not finding information that you need on our website or through informational meetings or mailings, please reach out to me. Give me a call, email me. I want to get information into the hands of voters, and that's from my standpoint, that's time well spent on my part to just get people informed. So that's what I would say is don't wonder, get your questions answered, and I'm happy to help with that if people want to reach out.
Very good. Dr. Lindsey Hall is the superintendent of Mahomet Seymour Schools, our guest on the phone here for this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. More to come on the morning show.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Monday. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network. Corn, beans, and wheat all starting the day higher. May corn opening 7.48, up 13. July corn up 13.5, 7.35 1/4. December corn 6.97 1/2, up 9.5. May beans starting the day 15.98 3/4, up 16. July beans up 15 1/4, 15.82, and November beans 14.23 1/2, up 16 3/4. May wheat up 20 1/2, 10.05. July wheat up 22, 10.06 1/4, and September wheat 9.96 3/4 to start this Monday, up 22 1/4. May bean meal 456.30, that's up 6.30, and May bean oil up a dime, 71.30. Look at the opening numbers at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Monday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
New trucks and SUVs are coming here at Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. This is Scott Baum. Yes, we have new inventory arriving, and you can see what will arrive right on our website. Just click on the pre-order and reserve tab. From there, you'll find vehicles in transit and vehicles in production. Or just call our sales staff and we'll help. Find Silverados, Equinoxes, Blazers, including Tahoes and Suburbans, as well as our complete Buick line of SUVs. BaumChevyBuick.com. Right from the start.
MR Systems Wireless has an immediate opening. They're looking for a full-time internet installer to perform the initial setup of wireless internet and voice over IP services, as well as troubleshoot and repair wireless and phone services for customers. You'll be responsible for the basic installation and maintenance of wireless equipment. No experience necessary. Includes health benefits, mileage reimbursed. Starting pay is $15 an hour. Find out more and apply by going to mrsystemswireless.com, then clicking About, then Employment. Equal opportunity employer.
This is the morning show on 92.3 FM in DeWitt County. WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. Dr. Lindsey Hall is the superintendent of Mahomet Seymour Schools and is our guest on this segment of the morning show, which is streaming to Facebook and YouTube. And it's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Dr. Hall, your replacement has been named. Tell us about who is coming into the district to take over your role.
Yeah, thank you. I am happy to talk about Dr. Kenny Lee. He will be the new superintendent here starting July 1st. Couldn't be happier for our school district and our community to have such a great leader be hired here. Just going to be a great fit. I'm happy for Dr. Lee as well. He's a native of Paxton, born and raised there. So, he's kind of moving back to the area where he was born and raised. And just a great choice, and so happy that it's worked out for him to accept the job and start here in July.
Sure. Now, how much do you know about him? How much have you been able to interact with him over, whether it's, through this process or over the years? What's your relationship like with him?
Someone who I've known and have respected. I've spent some time with him. It was 2 weeks ago. He came down and was at the board meeting where the board officially, voted on his contract. And we spent the afternoon together. Also spent an afternoon together when he was a candidate. I've taken him around to our buildings to meet some folks. And I will say this: he already knows a lot of people here, a lot of connections.
Mm-hmm.
And what I loved was when I was taking him around to buildings was how he interacted with our students.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was something I noticed, and I'm not surprised about that, but I think that's pretty important. So he's currently the superintendent at Manuka High School. He's been there for 6 years. Prior to that, he was superintendent for 6 years in Iroquois County School District, which is Watsika. And then prior to that, he was a teacher and administrator, including principal at Parkside Junior High over in Unit 5. So he's got lots of experience, great energy, very, very highly respected leader in our state. So just really, really happy for our district and our community and our students and parents and board and all of our staff.
Mm-hmm. So now what does the process of getting him, acclimated to the things you have going on? I mean, he's going to step into a position where there's a lot happening. There's a lot of things, we just talked about the upcoming referendum. He's going to have to step in and take the reins on, familiarizing himself with that, the ins and outs of those, those facts and those things. And then, of course, being able to articulate all of that to his community when he's asked about it. And, and there's much more. I mean, I'm sure there's curriculum things going on, probably professional development things happening. What all, talk a little bit about the transition time with all of that.
Yeah, all of the above. And so, he has switched jobs before as a superintendent. So I think he kind of knows what it looks like. I've done that, so I know what it looks like, and he will be spending some time in the district prior to starting on July 1st, and will I know use that time to talk to various people and just drink from the fire hose, so to speak, in terms of the amount of information. But when you start a new job, it's fun, it's exciting, it's super energetic and positive, and so you do what you need to do, and he'll do a great job at it. So, he will be here, like I said, for some time prior to July 1st, and I know he'll make the most of that.
Mm-hmm.
To figure out what the top priorities are. Certainly, the referendum is very high priority. So is negotiating our teachers' contract this spring. So he's done it all before, and very calm, rational, experienced, and highly respected leader.
Now, are those the two probably biggest things that are will be on his radar, or do you foresee other things that he's going to have to, get himself introduced to? I mean, is there, say curriculum development things or professional development things? Like what else is on his radar as he steps into this role, Dr. Hall?
Well, I would say the two highest priorities are the referendum and negotiating the teacher's contract. When I say that, though, I don't want to lessen any of the other things that are always going on, which is, we're always working on curriculum and professional development. And so I have an incredible team of administrators here who will bring him up to speed on everything. But I would say, yeah, those other things I mentioned are probably the most, time intensive as well over the next couple of months. So yeah, he'll be good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Well, Dr. Hall, in our final moments together, did I miss anything on Dr. Lee that you want to put out there for us?
No, I think I summed it up. Just I'm looking forward to transitioning with him and then handing off the reins at the end of June.
Very good. Well, Dr. Hall, like I said, about a minute left with you. What else has been on, taking up your time? I mean, I'm sure COVID, from what I've heard, COVID has really kind of dissipated for everybody. It's off to being a superintendent again. What's kept you busy from that perspective?
Yeah, well, that's a great perspective. It's been nice not to deal with that. We certainly are thankful that cases have fallen way off, and we're doing great in that regard. I do want to just say one thing really quickly. It's not related to COVID, thank goodness, but Bulldog Bash is this Friday evening. This is our major fundraiser for the Mahomet Seymour Education Foundation. We'd like to see lots of people there. Our foundation supports our teachers and our students in classrooms through a lot of financial support, and they can do that when we support them with their fundraisers. And Bulldog Bash is Friday night.
Sure. Look forward to it. Dr. Lindsey Hall, Superintendent of Mahomet Seymour Schools. My guest on the phone. Network News is now.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton, 92.3 FM, W222 BG Clinton, 106.5